Time travel is real, and this is part 2 of a part 1 episode. So we are going to go into real evidence to figure out why is time travel actually real. So first of all, we've had something very interesting show up here, a visitor from out of space, and even experts actually saying, like Harvard paper argue, that this is an alien object, not a man-made, actual alien. Just the way its actual shape is, how fast it actually flew through our solar system, is proof that this is not an ordinary object. It flew through our solar system super fast, and this is an interstellar probe, otherwise known as a beacon. What they actually use with a beacon such as like this is to go through our system and to look for signs of life. So this is something that is not a fantasy, this is real. And nobody knew what this object actually is. And if you can see here, this is super magnified. This doesn't look like something normal. It doesn't even look like something that's supposed to be just made by any human or by just anything out there. It is made by alien species. It is specifically been chiseled in a way that it can fly so fast through our solar system. And it probably has special things right inside of here that are getting and giving signs of life to some alien in the outer space. So this is pretty freaky, by the way, but this is just one thing that talks about interplanet and things like that. But there is something else in the news that just came up. The classified UFO videos. Those are real. And we're not really supposed to see them, the US military actually said. So they were not supposed to be declassified at all. So over here, this is the F-18 Super Hornet, and it sees this mystery object right in its tunnel of vision with very sophisticated instruments. So you can't see something like this with your naked eye, but you can definitely see something just like it with super electronics, such as available with the F-18 Super Hornet, a non-object, otherwise known as a UFO, which stands for Identified Flying Object. And there was many episodes like it. Most of the time they were dismissed. But here is another one right here. Here is the object right there. And here is another one. And this is not even a drone, because it is so small and it travels supersonic speeds. This is an unidentified phenomenon. And because of that, it has been classified by the Department of Defense. And the Pentagon never cleared this to be actually declassified to the public. Which makes me think that this is another reason why, well, time travel is real. And specifically UFOs and aliens too. Now talking about freaky stuff here. Look at this. 70 celebrities that look alike. And you can see something super freaky about this too. You have Matt Damon right there. And this guy who looks exactly like Matt Damon. And this was an old picture of him. Here's another one. Johnny Depp and Johnny Depp himself. Why do we have celebrities that look like normal people or otherwise are so identical to somebody in Hollywood? I suspect there is some kind of genetic thing about them picking those humans and making them stars. Here's another one. Same guys. Looks so much identical too. So, and you don't think this is real? Take a look at this. Eddie Murphy. Same dude. Identical. Identical. Can't tell the difference between both of them. They're so similar and look alike as well. Ooh, and talking about this, look at that. Practicing something known as cybogenics. Well, they go ahead and reinvent people from the past and making them somebody coming right from the future. It is super freaky, by the way, because it is so real. Cybogenics is something that has been known to practice for quite some time. And you can see the pictures of those celebrities and the lookalikes are almost the same. No similarities. Their faces are nearly identical. So this is very, very interesting too. And you can see similarities of some celebrities to people in the past, and how come those people from the past are reappearing in the future. This is something that makes no sense. Here is one, same guy, Harry Potter. And this actually turns out to be someone's great aunt. And even more freaky is the following. Egyptian bust and Michael Jackson. Wow. A famous minor, Justin Timberlake. And you can see on and on resemblances of celebrities and famous people. Here's more of them too. Here's somebody who looks exactly like Nicolas Cage. We can go on like this forever. Why is this going on? And we have a Roman emperor, and you have a same exact identical person just like him too. Now, before we go ahead and freak you out even more with those things, there is something even more important here for me to show you. Let's go ahead and see. Ooh, this is gonna be so freaky. So this is the first world's cell phone from 1938, wireless device, before it was even made. So we have this female right here, right there, talking in what is otherwise known as a cell phone back in the 1930s. Try to explain this, my friends. Why is she talking to something on her hand? You can see it right there, even closer picture. Her talking to a cell phone device. In the 1930s, there was no cell phones, there was no cell phone towers back in those days. So how do you explain this footage? And this is the kind of cell phone we are talking about. This is a vintage cell phone. This is not a new cell phone, but this is exactly what it looks like, that she's been actually talking in the 1930s right here, the device itself. So this is very strange, but what's not strange about is that sometimes in the history, you will see things that happen in the past happening in the future and repeating themselves over and over again. In fact, let's take a look at the freakiest of them all. This is kind of freaky. 121-year-old photo. And this girl reappears from 120 years old, and she's back traveling in time. Here she is. Now, she looks like a normal girl, but it is nothing but normal about her. She actually reappears herself back in time, and she shows up right here. Here she is, right there. Same girl, but this was a really long time ago. So here she is. Same girl, but a long time ago. Way before. 120 years before. The one right here existed. Or did she? Or maybe it is the same girl. You might not think so, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at the similarities. Same braids in the hair, Same braids in the hair, right here, same braids. Similar face too. She looks, to be exact, a time traveler girl. And here is comparing both of them face to face. Identical twins. And yet, those pictures are 120 years apart. So, how is that possible that the same person reappears 120 years later looking identical as somebody who actually was in the past? If doesn't convince you that time travel is real, this does. But this vintage picture, 120 years ago, the spirit of this girl reincarnates herself into somebody in the future. Or was it a time travel that she traveled in time and reappears once again in the future? Anything is possible, my friends. If you believe so, please do subscribe to this channel.